This is my remake of a nostalgic sweet treat from many moons ago. Every now and then I decide it's time to do something a little extra special and indulgent in my kitchen, especially when it's to celebrate a bountiful harvest. Warming, hearty, wholesome, crisp and damn right delicious. Here it goes. Look at that, it's oozing out there. Wow. Delicious. The rolling green hills of Wales. And look at this rhubarb, it's crazy. Each year it gets bigger and bigger. Like, look at this. Unbelievable stuff. Let's pick a load of this. I'm actually gonna make, believe it or not, and I don't like saying this, but you can't not agree that McDonald's apple pies as a kid were one of the most delicious things that were ever invented. Honestly, I used to go swimming so much as a kid. I did it like 6 times a week, and on the way home from swimming, as we would drive past McDonald's, I would beg my mum for an apple pie. I'm glad you didn't get me one each time because it's not good for you, but occasionally we had an apple pie from McDonald's. Now, I want to try and recreate a fried apple pie, but without the apple, we're going to use rhubarb instead. So this is going to be my neighbour's rhubarb fried pie, McDonald's style, but a bit more gourmet and delicious. Ooh, can I get them in the basket is the question. So yesterday I made a delicious savoury treat with my rhubarb that I got from my neighbour's garden. Lacto fermented. It's the most unbelievable dish ever, to be honest with you. You've got to check out the recipe. But today I thought, let's utilise the rhubarb in a sweet dish. I don't eat that many sweet dishes. I don't want too much sugar, but from time to time I've got to indulge, and especially when the rhubarb and the produce is this good. So first things first, we need to make a delicious, sweet, juicy, pink and vibrant rhubarb filling. And to achieve that, I'm gonna cook my rhubarb at different stages. So I'll probably throw in a load of chopped rhubarb at the end as well, so that it holds on to that pink color. All right, so that's my rhubarb chop. That's the first batch, because we're gonna add some more after. I'm just gonna keep reminding myself, because that's how we're gonna get a lovely pink color. And now I'm gonna go in with some of my homemade vanilla extract. And this is so simple to make, believe it or not. Whenever I've had some vanilla pods that I've used in recipes, I've just popped them in this jar with a little vodka, and that infusion is an amazing vanilla extract. So that's gonna go in. I'm also going to add a pinch of ground cinnamon, and to make it even more gourmet, a touch of chopped crystallized ginger. All right, so now we need to get some sweetness in there. I'm actually going to use sugar on this occasion. Often I would just use something like maple syrup or agave, but sugar, because we're doing this like McDonald's style. Now I'm going to introduce some citrus into the mix. I've got a blood orange, so I'm going to zest and juice it into the pan. Plus, I'm actually going to add some corn flour mixed with a little water, and that's going to help thicken the mixture and stop it being watery within the pie. All right, so that's going to bubble away for a little bit. Let's get some rhubarb chopped, which we'll add right at the end. Oh, that is jammy. That corn flour has worked its magic completely, and I've got this beautiful pinky orangey syrup that is just coating around all these lovely lumps. Oh my word, that is absolutely delicious, lightly spiced from the cinnamon and the ginger. So I'm not going to cook this for too much longer because I really want some nice bite-sized pieces amongst the filling. I'll throw in my finely sliced rhubarb for the vibrancy, and then we'll take it off and let it cool completely because we don't want to put hot filling inside my pastry, and that's the next job, making the pastry. Ooh, beautiful. All right, so let's make our pastry. You of course can use shop-bought pastry, but I'm gonna make my own so I can see every single ingredient that's gone into it. It's really, really simple as well. I've got some all-purpose flour in my mixing bowl that I'm gonna add a little sugar, plus a pinch of salt to. We'll mix that up, and then I'll throw in some cubed cold butter. And I'll use my hands to rub it together to form almost a breadcrumb-like consistency so that that butter is evenly distributed throughout the flour. Then I'll add a couple tablespoons of cold water, just enough to bring everything together to form a ball of dough. I'll then turn it out onto my chopping board and just give it a little knead just to work that gluten a little bit. Then cover over the bowl and set it aside to rest for a little while in the fridge before I roll it out. So I'm just rolling my homemade pastry out to around 3 mil thick, and then I'm gonna cut some big circles, not that big, medium circles, and we'll then fill the circles with our lovely filling that's now just fridge temperature, because we want to keep everything cold. That is a lovely disc of pastry. So I'm gonna pop it on my board, I'm gonna cut some more, and then we'll fill them all. So I'm just doing a small one because I had a small bit of pastry spare, but of course you can roll all this pastry up and roll it out again and create some more circles. But I think 4 is enough today. Ooh, oh my word, look how pink and vibrant that filling is. Unbelievable. And it's super cold now. This is my filling station. I've got some water mixed with a little oil and maple. That's going to help stick everything together. So it's a simple case of packing as much of that filling as you can into each of the pastry circles on one side, and then I'll fold it over and just use some of that liquid to bind it together. Use a fork to crimp it together, and that's the parcel of joy done, ready for cooking. Guys, comparing the two, this small one and this big one, that big one is just way too big. I shouldn't have done them that big. So I'm going to cut these circles down to that size. So these are going to go in the fridge now just to firm up, and in that time I'll heat up my oil. These can be baked. I'm going to say that to you right now because obviously frying is so unhealthy. But for me, this is a one-off, rare, incredible, indulgent treat that I'm so excited to try. But you can just bake them 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes or until they're crisp and golden, and you can brush some of that glaze over the top just so they go lovely and golden too. So our oil's on, it's time to set up our frying station. You have to be prepared. So I'm just gonna get a plate lined with some kitchen paper. That's gonna soak up any excess oil once the pies are fried. And to take this to the next level, I'm gonna toss together some unrefined caster sugar with a little ground cinnamon to make a cinnamon sugar coating. Oh, guys, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to fry my neighbour's rhubarb and blood orange and vanilla and cinnamon pies, McDonald's style, but gourmet and delicious, because we don't like McDonald's. To check the oil's hot enough, pop something wooden inside it, and if bubbles form around the wood, it's ready to fry. I'm only going to fry one pie at a time, just so that my oil level doesn't rise up too high and overflow. Please be very safe when shallow or deep frying. So we're just going to make sure nothing's sticking, and we're going to cook these until golden and crisp. Whenever cooking things like this, pizza, raviolis, pies like this, it's always good to do a test run. So this is my test run. Now I know that I can definitely get 2 in at a time, which is obviously going to speed up the process, and I can serve multiple at once, and you know, I'm not having one going cold whilst I'm waiting for the other one to cook. So think about that when you're cooking in future, just doing a test run. I now know that nothing's splitting or leaking out. So all good so far, and these are going really lovely and golden and crisp for sure. All right, let's get this one out. It's lovely and golden, and then we'll fry the rest and then get them into that lovely cinnamon sugar. All right, let's get these pies in my cinnamon sugar, and then I'll serve them up with some of my homemade vanilla custard, and I'll pop the recipe for that along with the pie recipe on my website. Oh, look at that! Crystallized perfection, cinnamon sugar, parcel of joy, rhubarb heaven. Oh, that is unbelievable. I think a bit of custard on the plate first, this on top, and I've also got some pistachios to go over too. That looks good. Here it goes. Wow. And look at that. Oh, it's oozing out, that filling. The pastry's almost puffed up, like puff pastry. Oh, we have definitely made McDonald's apple pie gourmet. Wow, delicious. I'm going to try and get cameraman Tom and my friend Rue to give a one-word reaction to it. So whether they like it or not, they're coming on camera, just to give you a reaction. Sorry, boys.
Very wholesome.
Sensational.